Life separates friends through death and physical separation. Is this separation the end of relationship, leaving nothing more than memory? Is there love between people only when they are physically present? Or can there be something more than thought when they are absent? Is all relationship momentary with no lasting bond? Life separates friends through death and physical separation. Is the separation the end of relationship, leaving nothing more real than memory? Is there love between people only when they are physically present? Or can there be something more than thought when they are absent? Is all relationship momentary with no lasting bond? Lordy. There's so many questions involved in this one question. So let's take one by one in it. Life separates friends through death and physical separation. Is the separation the end of relationship, leaving nothing more than memory? That's an actual fact, isn't it? Right? I'm separated from my wife. Go off traveling. My wife remains in India or in Britain or here. And I think about her, telephone her, I write her, and so I keep a communication, right? It's based on memory. I don't quite see what's the problem there. That's an actual fact. Leaving nothing more than memory. Is there love between people only when they're physically present, or can there be something more than thought when they're absent? This is the real question. Is there love between people only when they're physically present, or can there be something more than thought when they're absent? Now let's go into it. If we understand very deeply and very clearly the nature of thought, which is, if I may repeat again, thought is the outcome of memory, response of memory. Memory is born out of knowledge. Knowledge is out of experience, right? This is the cycle. Experience, knowledge, memory, action, and from that action learn more. So have more experience, knowledge, memory, action. It's a circle, chain, in which we are operating. That's how our thinking is going on all the time. Now, so we must be very clear the nature of thinking. It's a material process. There is nothing whatsoever sacred about it. Right? Please don't accept this. If you accept it, then you don't see the whole meaning of it, unless you've gone very deeply into it. Everything thought is created in the world technologically, computers, all the rest of that, the atom bomb, all the things that the temples, the mosques, the churches are put together by thought, right? So the symbols, the images these temple churches contain are nothing sacred about it, right? So, but thought makes, having created it, then thought makes it appear as sacred, right? Examine it, please. Don't accept it. Don't get angry. Just look at it. And is the movement of thought love? That's what the question is asked. The question, it says, is there love between people only when they are physically present, or can there be something more than thought when they are absent? So if the thought is the only movement in relationship, thought with its images about each other, if that is the only relationship that we have, then what place has love? You're following me? Is love the image that we have created about each other in that relationship, pleasant, unpleasant, all the travail of relationship? And in that relationship, when there is this conflict, each one acting separately, wanting to fulfill his own desires, his own lust, his own, and so on, each one separate and trying to fulfill in his own separate ways ambition, aggressiveness, greed, and you know all that goes on. Is there love? And then what is love? Is it put together by thought? Go on, answer all this. Is love desire? Is love the pursuit of self-fulfillment? Is love the pursuit of pleasure? You see, that's what's happening in the world. And so, when that is missing altogether, and perhaps happens rarely, occasionally, then thought is the only means of communicating with each other. Telephone, writing letters, thinking about your wife or your present. You know, all that takes place. So what is one to do? You answer my question? I realize thought has become so extraordinarily important in life, in the business world, in the technological world, in the economic world, in the world of religion. All the rituals are put together by thought. The dogmas, the faith, everything is based on thought. Thought made through tradition holy. And when one realizes very deeply that thought is not that flame which purifies everything else, how is one to capture it, to hold it, to have it? You understand my question? Are you following me? Now, that becomes a problem, right? And my brain, listen to it carefully, my brain is trained to solve problems. In the technological world, it has been trained year after year to solve technical problems. The atom bomb, computers and so on. And my brain has been educated to solve psychological problems. So I'm faced with this question, which is, I know thought is not all that we have said. And I also know without the other, life becomes very shallow. So I have a problem. Follow, I have a problem, right? You understand this? So I'm ready to solve it. My brain is active to solve it. Whereas love is not something, a problem to be solved. You understand? The problem is not thought and love, but the problem is this tremendous egotistic, egocentric movement going on all the time. That is the real problem. And so I begin to again try to solve it. I never said this is the problem. Let's look at it. I'm not going to solve it. Let's look at it. I wonder if you're following all this. Right? Don't let me make into a problem, but let me first look at it. Let me look at the whole movement of thought, and also, as I don't know the other, perhaps I know it very rarely, like a beautiful flower which withers so quickly. I know something of it, but the knowledge of it is not the real thing. So I am aware of thought, rather, not I am aware of thought. Thought begins to be aware of itself. You begin to understand this? Are you all asleep? And the thing is never to make a problem of anything. I wonder if I can this one thing if we understand. To have, see, only a mind that has no problems can solve problems. Vous avez compris? Have you understood? But we have so many problems, and we try to solve other problems. And so we keep on multiplying problems. So we never ask of ourselves if it is possible to have no problems. But there are problems. But to meet them instantly and finish with them. So the mind, the brain is free from all conflict problems. You see, is all relationship momentary with no lasting bond? That's a part of the question. Sorry, I missed that. Is all relationship momentary with no lasting bond? What do you mean by that word, bond? Bondage? Depending on each other? Holding on to each other? Is that what relationship is? Constant, the establishment of a constant, lasting bond. Is that what relationship is? I'm asking, sir. Or is relationship something entirely different? In which there is no bondage, in which there is no dependency. Which means deep inward sense of freedom and integrity, and you follow having this love. Then love is not bondage.